Okay, question 4. Sorry, Ben, I saw your question now. Benny, you said, are lightning deals notified if approved? Yes. You will be approved when notified. Sorry, other way around. You will be notified when you are approved, but not the other way around. If you do not receive notification, then you will not be approved. Question 4 over here. This seller is modifying his product, but it's already been selling on Amazon for quite some time. He's making a modification as an improvement. His concern is he allowed to modify an existing listing with the same ASIN, or should he make a new product? First of all, Amazon updated the policy some time ago and stated that sellers cannot modify an ASIN after it's been selling, which means once the product is live and selling, you cannot make any physical modifications to that product. So no more ingredients, no more molds. It must stay exactly the same. However, how will Amazon know if you modify the product? They will only find out if a customer complains about the modification. And if the modification is an improvement, you should not get any complaints. I do this all the time. I'll make a test order of maybe 200 to 500 units, and once I sell that out, I then do another order of a much larger quantity, and then I'll make slight improvements to the product from the first order. So by the time the second order comes around, it's a pretty much a listing with all new modifications. However, all those modifications are improvements to the product. I've yet to receive a single bad review because of that. And if you do, make sure you offer great customer service to keep it under the radar from Amazon. But keep it like that and you should be fine. George, I saw your comments over here that you said that the Lightning deals boosted your keyword ranking. That's great. Then, like I say, for every seller it's different. The sources I heard this from was based on last year, so maybe it's different this year around. But that's good to hear. Next question. Amazon are constantly going over the budget for their ads, sometimes by $5 or more. Can you get a refund? Well, you could try. You really could. Personally, I've not had much luck with the ads department, but I do know of a number of people that managed to get reimbursed for click fraud or overspending. So in that case, they did. They did get a refund. However, it was a long battle with a number of emails back and forth, and pretty much at the end of it, only apply for a refund, only go after it if Amazon are owing you a lot of money. If it's just $5 to $10, rather spend that time growing your product range. Don't aim to get it back if it's going to waste a lot of your time. Okay, Steve, I saw your question. Please ask me again at the end. Thank you. Okay, question 7. How do you recommend getting Amazon to accept multiple browse nodes for a product? I have identified 4 to 5 nodes that some of my competitors are listed under and would like to add my listing under that. What should I do? Basically, in the past, Amazon will allow you to be in multiple nodes, and that was pretty cool. However, over the past year or so, they've cut down on that, and now they will only allow you to a maximum of 2 nodes. And all your competitors that are in 4 or 5 nodes, they were most likely grandfathered in there, meaning their products have been there for a year or two, so because of that, they have been grandfathered and they're kept the same. So henceforth, they stay in those nodes, even though it is 4 to 5 nodes. If you do want to appear in more than one node, your best bet is to contact Amazon Seller Support and show them proof that you should be in these nodes. Proof in terms of in terms of screenshots to show maybe your ingredients or maybe your modifications or whatever your product can do applies to other categories. If you get that, they will most likely give you access, but only to 2 nodes. It's very difficult to get more than 2 nodes, and it requires a lot of effort. But if you can, go for it. Okay, question 8. I have several items marked as unfulfillable, and 3 are shown as warehouse damaged. It is my understanding Amazon will compensate me for these 3 items. But where do I look to see if this happened? Great. First of all, Amazon will reimburse you if the products were damaged in the warehouse. They will reimburse you the selling price minus their commission. However, a number of times the stock will be damaged by FBA, so it will be damaged in the FBA warehouse and they will report it as saying it arrived faulty. So even sometimes when Amazon damages stock, they will just lie and say it wasn't damaged by us or it arrived damaged. Now, when you obtain these when you obtain these notifications about unfulfillable inventory, it will be in your inventory tab. There'll be a little arrow where it says available quantity. The arrow there, and then it will tell you unfulfillable quantity. And then when you get that, you have a choice to either ship the items to your address or destroy them. If you live locally in the US, then definitely get it shipped to you so that way you can inspect the product. And in most cases, the product is still in perfect condition, but there might be a little scuff mark on the packaging or a little tear here and there. Otherwise, you should be fine. But for me, as I live in the UK, I pretty much have Amazon destroy the items because it would just be too expensive to have them shipped to me over here. Okay, question 9. I have recently noticed that Amazon is no longer allowing us to place links in the comments we add to customer reviews. Have you noticed this, and is there any workaround? You are correct, links are no longer allowed. However, this is not consistent at Amazon, as I still know of some categories that have this option. A number of sellers use this trick. It's an SEO trick. They include links to their other products in the reviews. That way it looks really good SEO-wise, as you have a listing with multiple links coming from it. However, as you've caught on, Amazon have caught on, and now they don't allow this anymore. There's not much you can do. I wouldn't worry about it. I'm not even sure how effective it was. I tested out putting the URLs in the reviews, and it didn't make much of a difference. But like I say, everyone's different. But for now, unfortunately, there's no workaround, and there's not much else you can do. Okay, question 10. It's not clear to me why I would want a review club in addition to my VIP club. Couldn't I get reviews as easily from my VIP club as from a review club? Is there any advantage to the review club I'm not aware of? Pretty much a VIP or review club can be treated as the same. The only difference is how you groom those members. For example, the members of a review club are used to getting the item for free and then leaving a review, where a VIP club are members that are used to getting a product for very cheap but don't always have to leave a review. Pretty much you can treat them, a review club and VIP club, as the same. It's all dependent on how you want to market to your list. If you want a review club, if you want a VIP club, please be aware, because sometimes a review club is great, but then you need many products. Whereas a VIP club, you can pretty much market to them once every week or two with the same product but different variations and different prices, and that's a VIP club. But at the end of the day, it's up to you, and there's no right or wrong way of doing it. Okay, question 11. When you create coupon codes for products that have parent-child listings, what ASIN do you use? The parent ASIN or one of the child ASINs? Okay, now, you will use the ASINs of all the products that are involved in that promotion in the product selection tab when you're making a promotion. Now, if your parent child is if your parent listing is itself its own product, then it must be added. But normally you only need to add the variations. But please make sure you test this out, because I know that there are still times to this day when you make a promotion and it does not work properly. So always test it out, but otherwise, if you use all the variations, that should be fine. Okay, question 12. When I create a sale on my Amazon listing, do I still get charged the Amazon fees for the full price? Yes. You will get charged 15 to 20% commission on every purchase. 15 to 20% dependent on the category. So for example, let's say your list price is $19.99, but your sale price is $9.99. You will pay commission on that $9.99. You pay commission on whatever the customer pays. For example, if you give your customers a steep discount and it's only $4.99, you will pay the commission on $4.99. You only pay commission on what the customer pays. Okay, question 13. If customers send back our product to Amazon due to damaged packaging, who bears the cost of that, and does Amazon take responsibility? First of all, Amazon will never take responsibility, and that's just not about this, that's about pretty much everything. Amazon will always defer everything. But in this case, that will count as a return because the customer received a product and then, because of damaged packaging, returned it, and in a return, basically you pay that. So even if Amazon damages your product and still sends it out, you will still pay regardless. Unfortunately, Amazon deems all of those as returns, and there's no way around that. Okay, so that was pretty quick and easy, as there were only 13 questions. So now, if you have a question, please type it in the chat box and I'll do my best to answer it for you. Okay, George, you say you got your first 1-star review. Okay, so George, your issue here is that you got your first 1-star review and the buyer said, yuck, the bottle leaked and won't even try it. And you then responded with a comment saying a full guarantee and you will give them a full refund. All they need to do is contact Amazon. Great reply. Now the issue now is to try and get that review removed, because the problem is Amazon damaged the stock and now you get the negative review. That is quite difficult. It really, really is. What you could do is that if this customer is still happy, try to bowl them over with even more kindness. So reach out to them. So try to reach out to them and offer them maybe a $10 Amazon gift voucher to make up for the problem, and ask them if they can to take photos of the product. Then, when you go into Amazon and try to complain about this product review, tell them here is proof. This is the proof, and this is caused by FBA. Show them a proof, show them a photo of the product, how it should look, and then show them a photo of the product, what it ended up looking like after FBA. That's your best way to get these product reviews removed. However, I've had the same case on my Amazon business, and I tried for 6 weeks, pretty much an email every day to remove this one review, and I got shut down every single time. And unfortunately, sometimes there's not much we can do. But George, if you can, try to get it removed. You should be able to if you have proof. Okay, Steve, you say Amazon has a new look since the webinar that Ben taught, the crystal ball method. Where do I find the detailed page sales and traffic by parent item page? Okay, Steve, to be honest, I haven't seen that new look yet. The thing is that not everyone gets to see the new look of Amazon Seller Central because Amazon are now doing split testing. So for that reason, I can't really answer your question as I haven't seen it yet. However, that info will still be there. It should still be there. It should still be somewhere there. And your best bet pretty much is to phone Amazon and ask them. As its new layout, there's not much I can help with because I haven't seen it yet. So my apologies. Okay, Joe, good point. You're referring here to question 4. The problem was that his product reviews mentioned the very feature he was removing. If that's the case, that's fine. Because how often do Amazon read those reviews? Amazon doesn't. It really doesn't. The only time Amazon will be alerted to a change of a product is when someone complains. So granted, if no one complains, they should be fine. However, what you could do is maybe make a variation. So on the one page, you have a variation and you have the old modification. And that could still work. And that way you have reviews from both sides. The question here, what is the best way to keep up with Amazon changes and Amazon TOS? Okay, now we know Amazon often shifts the goalposts. And with that, we're not sure what Amazon will throw at us next. Your best bet to be kept up to date, 2 things. Monitor the headline in your Amazon Seller Central page. There's a little headline section. It will tell you exactly what's happening. Monitor that. Always pay attention to new headlines. And secondly, make sure you are involved in the community. That's major because you might miss something, but the ASM community itself will not. So a good thing to do is always monitor the Facebook groups, the forums, everything to see if anything new has popped up. Okay, Jonas, you asked over here, if you want to give away one of your products together with another, how do you set that up? Okay, Jonas, I'm assuming you mean bundling. If you're going to bundle items together, that's great. However, they must be bundled before they arrive to Amazon. So for example, if you have widget A and widget B, if they're already in Amazon together, you cannot offer them on sale together as a bundle. You can offer a discount if bought together, and that can be done through the promotions tab. But if you want them bundled together as to be just one product, so 2 in 1, then they need to be bundled before they arrive to Amazon FBA. Okay, Royston, you said over here, you are just about to get your order sent to Amazon after checking from FBA inspection. What do you need to do next? Okay, first of all, once it arrives to FBA inspection, you will get the quality check from FBA inspection to make sure it's all good and ready to be sent. Then you need to create the shipping plan and get the UPS shipping labels and simply email them to FBA inspection and they will affix them and then put it onto a UPS van for you automatically. So all you need to do is organize the UPS shipping labels. Once you've done that, wait 3 days, maybe 4 days, and your stock will be checked in to Amazon and will be live very shortly. And remember, once it's live, then immediately jump in and do a whole launch strategy. Okay, next question. I'm busy reading it. Okay, this is a very good question here. If you have product A and then create a parent-child relationship adding product B, and you run out of inventory for product A, have you still found that you will not carry the keyword ranking for product B? Pretty much yes. What happens is that the listings will depend. The keyword ranking will depend on the best-selling variation. So for example, if you have two products, A and B, if A is your bestseller, then let's say you could be on page one, on rank number 3 for your best keyword, but that's according to product A. If you run out of stock of product A, then the listing deviates to product B. And now the listing is dependent on the bestseller rank of product B, and that could be on page 2, 3, or 4. For example, one of my products, I have two in stock, and it was a supplement, and the bestseller variation sold out, and they had been there for maybe about a year or two because I've always been in stock. And and when that sold out, it then came down to the variation, and I dropped from page 1 all the way to page 2. But then once my stock came back in, then I went back to page 1. So you might have a whole number of variations, but the most dominant variation is where your product will be keyword ranked. Okay, next one. Benny, you asked over here, has Amazon already approved all lightning deals that they are going to approve for Black Friday? Actually, as far as I know, they have, but just this morning, I heard of someone that got approved last night to sale today. So it's crazy. As far as I know, if you haven't received a word yet, you have not been approved, but there might be some last minute changes, and Amazon may request in the last minute. It's rare, but it does happen. Okay, Richard, you asked over here, if our products are FBA, can we offer gift wrapping as an option, or is this an option to fulfilled by merchants? Actually, it's an option for FBA, but then the customer must choose it when they are checking out, and then Amazon will handle all the gift wrapping. You don't need to worry. That's not you. That's all Amazon. So gift wrapping is purely Amazon, and they will handle all of that. And you can't offer it. It's purely down to the customer. Okay, I've got a question here from MS. Do you recommend we have Amazon create flat files, or should we attempt to do it? Well, there is a little hack there. It's a little faster way. Is that what I do is if I am launching a whole number of products and I need to add 3 or 4 products at once, then I use a flat file, providing they're all in the same category. But what I can do, if I'm in a rush, what I will do is I will just use the Manage Inventory tab in your Amazon Seller Central account, where you go add a product. And then what I do is I create a flat, what I do then is I simply add a product as I would normally. But what I do is there's a little report called the Category Listings Report. You need to phone Amazon and ask them to give you permission to see that report. And once you do, that report will give you every single one of your products in flat file format. So that way you don't actually need to make your own. You can just download the one that Amazon uses. So if you want that, you need to request access to the category listings report, and then you can get all the flat files. Okay, Steve, your question. Okay, Steve, your question is, you have two accounts. One is a Prime buying account, and the other is a second selling account with a different email login. If I have sent items and gifts to my parents to another state from my Prime buying account, is it dangerous to have them buy my product from my selling account? The catch is, though, is that Amazon are very good at putting two and two together. So what they can do is that if they see any relation between a purchase and the seller, if there's any relation there, normally the review will not stick and the review will not be allowed. Whether it's actually bad for your account, I wouldn't risk it too much. If it happens once in a while, it's fine. But if it happens all the time, then you're raising alarm bells. So once in a blue moon, if your parents buy from your Amazon account, that's fine. But make sure it's rare, not too much. Good, Dan White, you asked over here. Are you aware of anyone having a problem with Amazon because they contacted customers that bought from them using the email append email addresses from Managed by Stats? No, I have not heard of anyone having an issue with that. However, um, Amazon do not like that. So for example, if you just took all your email addresses and threw them up into Aweber or MailChimp and start emailing them, first of all, they will complain because who are you and why are you emailing me? And then if Amazon got wind of that, they will not be too happy. But if you do it strategically, then you're absolutely fine. So for example, what I do is that I simply won't email those customers again. What I will do is I will then market to them through Facebook marketing, and then I'll get them to join my list after seeing my Facebook ad. That's absolutely fine. But to email them directly can raise alarm bells if they start reporting you to Amazon. Okay, Paul, you asked me over here. When using Amazon to fulfill an order from a Shopify site, are the shipping boxes used to send product to customers branded by Amazon? Yes, pretty much. So basically, because I do this as well, is I use my Shopify store for my and gets fulfilled by Amazon. And whenever my customer receives a product, it has the Amazon branding on it. And at the end of the day, I've yet to have a customer complain. And if they complain, who cares? They're complaining about your Shopify site. So if you get a bad review on your Shopify site, what do? Just delete it. It's very rare to get a complaint saying that's from Amazon and they don't like that. If I get a complaint, I immediately reply saying this is a story. My stock is held at Amazon as this is an international product sold across the world. I make up some story like that, and that pretty much negates any comment I get. But don't worry too much about that. It is absolutely fine. Okay, David, you asked over here. Title length recommendations. Our product is on page 3 and 6 for our two main keywords. Do you recommend our Amazon listing title be... Okay, so I won't read it out here. But basically, okay, so basically, at the end of the day, do you want to have a long title or a short title? Because if you have a long title, you can throw in more keywords in there. Short title is very defined and very laser targeted on those keywords. Now, let me ask you this, right? Is that we all know that Amazon bases the keyword ranking on the conversion. But here's the thing, is that if you have all these keywords, right, that makes your product very broad and you've cast a wide net to catch as much traffic as possible. However, some of that traffic may not be very good, as that may be the traffic that comes by, looks at the product, and then walks on by, harming your conversion rate. However, if you have a very small title, a short title, then you can't target many keywords, and then that's laser targeted on maybe 3 to 4 keywords. And because of that, then you may have a better conversion rate, because then you're getting the exact traffic for those keywords as opposed to the broad traffic. So my answer is there is no right answer. What I do with a long title and a short title, I pretty much start off with a short title and then slowly increase the title length and then increase more keywords, because at the very beginning, you want a high conversion rate. So you don't want a broad keyword base, you want a finite one, a small one to get those first few sales out the way. And then when Amazon sees that you can rank for those keywords, then you start improving and increasing the title length. Okay, MS, you asked over here, what is the best way to get into a gated restricted category? First of all, time and patience. In the past, when I applied for Amazon to be ungated, when I applied, pretty much on the first attempt I got in. And I manage about 4 to 6 different Amazon accounts. And pretty much, I tried again a few weeks back, and it took me 10 attempts to get in. Amazon now are becoming very stringent, and they're becoming very strict on who they allow into what categories. It's not a big deal. All it means that it makes the bar harder to get in, which is good, because the harder it is to get in, the less competition we have. But pretty much all you need are the minimal. So you will need an invoice, about 3 invoices stating what you sell, and maybe even a website if you need. And a website can be thrown up in a matter of half an hour to an hour. And once you have the invoices, the website, make sure you have anything else at hand as well, maybe an MSDS certificate, and then you apply to Amazon and you wait for their reply. Normally they'll come back and say to you they want more documents. Just say thank you and get back to them. And if they deny you, just reply. I've been rejected and then replied, I think about 8 times in 1 week for the same product. I got rejected, I still applied, and by the following week, I got in. It will not affect your rating if you apply numerous times and get denied every single time. Okay, Joe, I'm busy reading your question. Okay, Joe, I wasn't sure of this. Thanks for pointing this out. I'll read your question out here. Amazon has a beta program for shipping where they require a 2-digit code, a 2D code listing contents on the box. They are paying 4 cents a unit for every unit sold that was received to the warehouse under the program. The docs say the 2D content code will be required next year. Joe, thank you for pointing this out. I did see this about a month ago, but I never followed it up. And as I saw in US, UK, and Europe, it's pretty varied. I'm not really sure the exact goings on about this program. But you are right. I have heard people talking about this, and as of next year, things will change. However, when it comes down to Amazon shipping, it always gets easier, it never gets harder. So I'm sure this will be a welcome change to the program. And please, and thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate that. Linda, you asked, is there any way to offer one variation only as FBM on an item than other variations of FBA? Absolutely. You can have 10 items, 10 variations, and one can be FBM. They do not all have to be FBA. One can be FBM. Absolutely, it's very easy to do that. When you set up your variations, you simply select FBA or FBM for that specific variation, and there you go. Okay, Richard, I'm reading your question. If our products are FBA and customers are Amazon Prime members, are our products automatically available at a Prime product, or is it something else? Great, so your question is, do your products in FBA apply to the free Prime shipping? Yes. That's why Amazon loves FBA, because when you're on FBA, it's free shipping for all the Prime members, which means much, much better sales for you in Prime Day, sales days, all those things. So that's why you want Prime members, because they will happily pay a good price for your product. And it doesn't matter what your price bracket is. If you are FBA, then you are included in their Prime shipping rate. Okay, Jay, good question. For the Amazon PPC ads, do you use exact phrase or broad keyword match type? Which types do you find work better? Well, actually, I've been testing this now for a couple of weeks, and honestly, broad still works best. The traffic I've been getting on the exact and the phrase options has been very, very weak. And normally now, I'm still only getting sales from broad. And this is to be expected because these exact and the phrase matches are brand new to Amazon and they're still working out the kinks. So right now, I recommend start up an exact and a phrase campaign and see what works, because the thing is, Amazon ads are always being optimized. So if you stay ahead of the game and you're always trying things, then that's the best bet. But right now, I'm getting no sales from my exact and my phrase PPC ads. Okay, George, you asked over here. Amazon won't ship liquid outside of the US. Do you know whether they will fulfill outside US with my Shopify sales? Good question. Um, I actually, I doubt it. I really do, because normally the FBA fulfillments follow the same pattern as a product listed on Amazon. So I doubt they will, but it's go ahead and try. Simply create a fulfillment order of 1 unit and put in some crazy address outside the US and see if it will ship. You can actually check if it will. If it's processed, then it's fine and you can still cancel it. So I would go ahead and check that. Okay, Royston, you sit over here. You are based in the UK. That's awesome. Do I start off do I start off by sending out freebies in Craigslist to get my first product shipment ranked? What is the best strategy to have chosen as you are in a very competitive product? Okay, now there are two types of niches: a competitive niche and a saturated niche. Now, for example, a saturated niche is when every product is the same in that niche. For example, search for barbecue gloves. You will see every product there looks pretty much the same all the time. And that means it's saturated, but comparative is different. Comparative means there's loads of traffic, but it's a feeding frenzy to get that traffic. And now, a comparative niche is awesome because the only limitation you have there is your marketing strategy. So, for example, if it's very competitive, find out what everyone else is not doing. Maybe there's a keyword for that brand, a keyword for that niche that no one's using. Then you go after that. And if you go after the low performing keywords, you eventually will get into the short tail keywords where the maximum sales are. So don't worry if you're in a high competitive niche, just make sure you are creative with your marketing, because the worst that can happen is you don't sell. The best that can happen is that you sell crazy amounts. So there's no room, there's not much to lose there besides going crazy and trying to figure out how many ways you can sell. And also, if you can learn to sell a product in a competitive niche, it means every other launch you do after that will be child's play, because you now know how to sell in the most competitive marketplaces, so everything else will be easy. Dan, you said over here, I don't understand about directing customers on the email append list to my fan page. How is that different from asking them to join my VIP club? Dan, pretty much is not different. It's your preference. You can have those customers join your VIP club or go to your fan page. It's your preference. I know Ben shows a number of tactics, and basically you gotta take those and see what works for you and what fits with your business. Ben throws out a lot of tactics, and we can't do all of them because there's simply too many. If we can do all of them, that's crazy amounts of work, which I'm sure will pay off. But normally with myself, I don't have the time to try everything, so I try the best things that fit into my business. And the same applies to you. See what works for you and your business. David, you asked over here, do you have a concern about exceeding the character limit in your title? I ask because I am hearing that I ask because I'm hearing that some sellers are having their titles changed by Amazon. Okay, I will not go over the category limit. Sorry, their character limit. There we go. I will not go over the character limit, because if you do, your listing is suppressed. And if your listing is suppressed, you are excluded from the Amazon search results. So that means the only way someone can find you is if they actually type in your ASIN into the search box, and that's the only way they can find you. If they type in your keywords, they're not going to find you because you are suppressed. So for that reason, I will not go over the limit. And also, you say now that you're hearing that Amazon are changing some titles. Yes. What's happened now is that when Amazon requests a Lightning deal, and if you are approved, they will then go ahead and change your title, which is annoying. And after that, you may need to use a flat file to change it back if you can't do it already. Otherwise, there's not much you can do. If Amazon change your title, what you can do is this. You can say to Amazon, look, Amazon, here is my website. That's my title. Why do you change it? If that's the case, Amazon will have to change it back, because that's brand registry, and your product, that's its title. That's its title on your store. So it has to relate in the Amazon side. That only really applies if you have brand registry. Okay, Yuri, I'm reading your question. You got two variations of new product lost by UPS on their way to FBA. For one shipment, Amazon reimbursed a total of $25 per item, according to the policy. For the other shipment, they only paid $2 per item. Any suggestions on how to get the second one reimbursed at 25 each? Okay, Yuri, for that, you're gonna be on the waiting queue for quite a while. You really are. But definitely fight it, because if you can show to Amazon that those two products were valued at the same rate, then you should get 25 each. And please point out that this is crippling your business and you need that money for more stock, because you really like the FBA program. Kill them with kindness and they will come back to you. But simply, if they say no, they won't give you a refund, reply again, reply again, reply again. Spend 5 minutes of every day just emailing them, asking them for your refund. If you kick up enough dust, something will happen. Stacy, that's good advice. You've been using the 2D code for your shipping for a month or two, and your units seem to get checked in much quicker. That's good to hear. That means that the new shipment is going to work. That means the new shipping system is working. Thanks for that. George, you asked over here, what is a 2D code? Is like a QR. Pretty much, George, you'll find out all about that in the new shipping plan when it rolls out. For now, don't worry too much about it. George, you also mentioned over here that you as well, you got no sales from Exact or Broad, and you're wondering. Pretty much, yeah, right now I'm only getting sales in my PPC ads through Broad. Exact and phrase matches, I'm not getting anything. And pretty much I'm always testing, so things could change next time around. Okay, David, I'm reading your question. Okay, David, I'm reading your question. I'll read out loud here. Um, We are up to 78 reviews, 5-star on average, including a couple of video reviews. I followed Ben's email triad follow-up sequence using Feedback Genius. Over the last month, we're averaging 3 sales a day, which you're happy about, but the reviews have virtually dried up. What are some of the thoughts and processes that you use to obtain customer reviews for your organic sales? Okay, what I do is that on my products, I get two types of reviews. I get the reviews that are from the email triad, the email feedback genius opt-ins, or I get an email from my inserts when they opt into my website. So because of that, I'm getting about 3 to 4 5-star reviews a day on a product that sells about 15 to 20 units a day. Pretty much with that, if you follow Ben's email triad, that's fine. That will get you the reviews. But pair that with an insert, and then it definitely will get more reviews. And I have noticed there are times when I will get 5, 6 reviews a day for maybe a week or two, and then 1 or 2 a day for the next 3, 4 weeks. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why. Sometimes some reviews don't come in as often as they once do. Dan, you asked over here. Actually, sorry, David, I never finished your question. There's one more over there. Let me just finish reading it. Okay, now, David, you asked over here. My current email follow-up sequence only asks for customer reviews. I do not ask for seller feedback to avoid customer confusion. How do you ask for seller feedback? I think Amazon asks for seller feedback, so I rely on that. David, I follow that exactly the same as you. I don't ask for seller feedback because I know Amazon asks for seller feedback. And also the thing is, what I do is this, is Amazon doesn't really like it if we ask the customer to leave a review, but they don't mind if we ask for feedback. So what I do is that in my emails, I ask the customer to leave their feedback, and the link is actually as a product review, not as feedback. And because of that, I've never received any problems from Amazon. As long as I say feedback, not review, and I leave the link to the product review, not feedback. But they will do absolutely fine. You don't have to worry about the feedback. Okay, Dan, your question. Ben said something in the last webinar about Amazon truncating long titles. Do you know anything about that? I've never heard of it. Yes, that's because Amazon are trying to make all their products become consistent and all have the same title length. With that is that Amazon now actually reorganize and change your title, and sometimes it looks far worse than what it really is. Unfortunately, at Amazon's playground, we can't avoid that. The best thing you can do, make sure your brand registered and show Amazon your website where the product is listed with that title. Because then Amazon should change it to the title that's reflecting on your website. George, good advice there. You said commercialinvoice.org is the place to get an invoice to send to them. Great. That's perfect for to be ungated. Dan, you asked over here, do you happen to remember in which of your Q&As you spent quite a bit of time explaining your Amazon ad strategy? Okay, Dan, I'm not entirely sure, but I'll happily give it to you here in a nutshell. What I do is this. When I start selling a product at launch, what I do is I start off with automatic campaign from the very second it's live. And normally I go for about $5 to $10 per day. Now that automatic campaign will not bring in any sales because normally at that stage I don't have any reviews yet. So, but I don't want the sales. I want the research. I want the data. So what I do is that I run an automatic ad campaign for the first 4 days. And then after that, I take all the data obtained because the automatic ad campaign returns the exact terms that customers are typing into the Amazon search bar. So now you have an exact list of what customers are looking for. I then take that list and then I create an Amazon manual ad campaign and I dump those keywords into the manual ad campaign. What I do as well is then I go on a rampage doing keyword research. I get normally about 200 to 300 keywords. And I put that into a manual campaign. So then I have after 4 days, I'm going to start off, after 4 days, I have two manual campaigns. One is from the keywords from the automatic, and one is from the keywords that I've done research. And now what I do is basically I look at those products and I look at those keywords and I keep them going for 4 days. Normally they're about $10 to $20 per campaign. And after 4 days, I then start taking things off and taking out the keywords that are not performing. And basically I do this every 4 day cycle for a couple of weeks. And at the end result, you will have 3 to 4 really good keywords that are cheap and can bring in sales. In a nutshell, that's what I do with Amazon ads. MS, you asked me, how do you encourage reviews with inserts? Do you offer discount, bonus, etc.? Yes. For what I do is that in my insert it says there, would you like a free product? Go to this website, and I give them the URL. And when they go there, it's basically just an opt-in page saying we would love to hear your feedback. Please give us your feedback, and we'll send you a free product. They then put the opt-in email over there, and then they get emailed from the autoresponder saying, please leave 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1-star review. I have a picture of a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, and 1-star. However, 5-star and 4-star, that picture then redirects them to the review page. 3-star, 2-star, and 1-star, those pictures will redirect them to my website. And our state then is that as your review is quite critical, this goes straight to the owner as he can address it himself personally. And customers really do like that. And because of that, it really does help me get a lot of good reviews. Okay, and MS, the same thing. With a new product launch, not being American, what do you suggest the best way to get reviews? Pretty much, I would study Ben's teachings. As long as you're using his email sequence for the autoresponder, Feedback Genius, that will get you good reviews. And as well as if you do your marketing on Facebook and have an opt-in page, and then they buy, email them after they opt in saying, hey, we're running a promotion, crazy giveaway that if you leave a review in the next 24 hours, someone will win a $50 Amazon gift card. Something like that. You have to now be creative in your advertising to get ahead of the game. And all those review clubs that people use, because there are quite a few in the market, eventually they also may be closed off by Amazon. So we'll see how things go. But if you follow Ben's teachings, that's completely 100% compliance with Amazon terms of service. Okay, Jay, you asked over here, what email software do you use in the UK? Is there a better tool for UK than Feedback Genius? Okay, in the UK, you can use Feedback Genius as they just launched their UK division. And there is another one called Zone Master, ZONMASTER, Zone Master. And they are pretty good. And they do both the US, UK, and even across Europe, I think. So, but pretty much they're all the same thing and they all do a good job. Okay, David, you said, can I go over the last question on the slides? The one about damaged packaging, I was confused with your answer. I thought part of our FBA fee goes to having Amazon FBA to deal with this type of situation. I thought FBA takes full responsibility for properly shipping the product. If the product is damaged and shipping, they take ownership as part of the FBA service. Can you explain a bit more? As it's happened to me and later one-star review. Okay, David, first of all, David, if you did not understand me, it's because of my accent. It's a very rough South African accent, so I do apologize. But anyway, the way it works is that let's say your product costs $19.99 and then you make a sale, but when the customer gets it, the packaging is damaged. And that could have happened in the shipment, in the warehouse, or whatever. So that customer then complains to Amazon and gets a refund. But now Amazon don't know why that product was damaged, and they assume it's your fault. And the thing is, you can't really prove it was Amazon's fault. You can't really prove it because you're not sure what happened. You didn't see the exact unit when it arrived there, and Amazon will always play dumb. So basically, sorry, if your product costs $19.99 and the customer requests a refund, you then pay back the Amazon payment you received for that product. So for $19.99, let's say you got out of that $12.99, you would then be charged that back off your account. So at the end of the day, all you've really lost is one product, one unit. And unfortunately, Amazon will not take ownership of that. They won't. Because the thing is, the FBA centers and the community centers that handle the reviews, they're two completely different things. And they simply will not chat to FBA and get the matter sorted. So because of that, if you get a one-star review, you can fight it, but there's not much you can do. But definitely, if you can fight it and show proof, that's your best bet. Okay, Jay, you asked me over here, how many keywords do you usually put in one ad group? How do you organize your keywords in different campaigns and ad groups and so forth? Basically, Jay, what I do is that I limit my ad groups to 100 keywords maximum. Now, I'm not sure if this is good or bad, but in my testing, it's shown to work quite well. because when I have too many keywords in one ad group, like 200 or 300, then I normally find some keywords are skipped over. So normally I go through about 100 keywords per ad group. And then how to organize them? Simply, I organize them with them according to the most impressions and most clicks. Anything that's too expensive, a high ACOS, or not getting any not getting any traffic, I then just delete it. Okay, another question here from MS. Can we avoid having to place UPC sticker code on product packaging if we have a third-party inspection service apply the FN SKU on the polybag for us? Okay, I think you're confusing a little thing here. The UPC sticker code? Oh wait, sorry, okay, I read wrong. Okay. With that is that you do not have to stick the UPC sticker code onto the package. For example, once you only use the UPC code to register the product. You will never use it again unless you plan to sell outside of Amazon. You only need the FN SKU on the bag, nothing else. The UPC code is not needed unless you're doing commingled. But don't do that. It's not worth it. Always go for non-commingled inventory. That's your best bet. And once you have that, all you need to do is print off the FN SKU, stick it on there, and ignore the UPC. The UPC is not needed at all. Okay, it looks like those are all the questions. So if you have any last minute questions, please throw them up there and I will do my best to answer them. Letty, you asked me, you really liked my insert strategy. Do you have it illustrated on the regular training? What month if you do? I don't really, but I know Ben has some great inserts. Your best bet would be to go into Ben's webinar homepage, his website, and look at the Google Drive folder, the Google Sheets folder, and there you can find it. Just search for it, the inserts. Okay, Sandy, you asked me, what's the easiest way to find the FN SKU code when you create a product, and will it ever change? No. Once you create that product, the FN SKU is tied to that ASIN. Now, how do you find the FN SKU? Go into your inventory page, and then we see all your products listed. There's the edit button to the right and this drop down box. Click on the drop down box and it says there print label items. I think that's what it says, yeah, print label items. You click that and then it will give you a download, which is your FN SKU code. Okay, MS, you asked over here, how about having a URL and social media icons on the packaging? Is this allowed? Strictly speaking, no. It really isn't, but Amazon can't stop you if it's on your packaging. You cannot have that stuff on your marketing emails or you cannot have that on your images, but you can have it on your packaging. And if your images are of your packaging, then you can't avoid that. It's absolutely fine because, unfortunately, if Amazon does not want you to have your social signals on your packaging, then pretty much Amazon will only sell inferior goods. So you can have that stuff on the packaging, but don't make it overly crazy. Don't have a call to action on the packaging that's very apparent in the images. Then you will be fine. Okay, with this question here, please explain the best practices for placing order, payment methods with Alibaba, and shipping to FBA inspections or other freight forwarders to FBA locations. Okay, with that, First of all, placing and paying an order with Alibaba. Just as a personal preference, I will not use Western Union because that is very easy to get conned that way. I'm not saying they all do, but Western Union is a way which suppliers can give you grief. Now, what you can do is pay with PayPal, because then if the supplier doesn't fulfill the order, you can just cancel it through PayPal and they will not get their money. And now with regards to shipping methods, your best bet is to maybe find a product sourcer, someone in China, or a freight forwarder, and they can do it all for you. With freight forwarders, that's their job full time, and pretty much I don't even bother anymore with shipping. I just use freight forwarders because one less hurdle if they do it for you. Royston, you asked over here, what happens if the niche is saturated? Is it very hard to rank? It's not, Royston. It's not hard to rank if it's saturated. It just means you have to be incredibly aggressive in your promotions. You really, really need to be, as you need to make a good, you need to get a good keyword ranking, and with that, you need to be give away a lot of stock and promote a lot of times. And even if you can make headway. But unfortunately, it'll be more expensive to sell in a saturated niche than it would be in a competitive niche. Okay, those are all the questions. I want to thank all of you for this webinar. I really do enjoy them, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you, and good luck selling on Amazon. All the best.